Hello my good friends, this is Chaos Angel here, also known as Lord Omni, and I'm back at it again with another flippin' reaction for you. And we're back at it again. This time we got the combat for Sonic Frontiers. We'll see exactly what's up and whether or not if it's going to change my feelings of what we saw in the previous video with the exploration. Other than that, let's get it. So yeah, I pointed out that my feelings were a bit mixed when it came to Sonic's exploration gameplay and what it was that they were essentially showcasing. Many tidbits of the animations were wonky, to say the least. A bit stiff, to be perfectly honest. Looks like it really needs some work. To be real with you, felt like the build that they're using was more like an alpha or something of that nature. It's kind of hard to explain, but I will talk about my thoughts after we actually see what the combat has in store for us and go from there. So with that in mind, let's get to it. Alrighty, let's see what you got for me.
IGN First continues on with yet another look at Sonic Frontiers gameplay, this time focusing on combat. Sonic is up against an all-new set of baddies, some of which are among the most massive bosses we've ever seen in a Sonic game. Fortunately, Sonic's got some new tricks up his sleeve. Make sure to stick with IGN all throughout June because we've got a full hands-on preview and interviews from the developers in store. For now though, enjoy the combat of Sonic Frontiers.
As far as the world is concerned, it doesn't look too shabby. It's actually pretty beautiful. Alright. So that's what we saw when it came to the trailer. You actually do lose rings. You've got multiple homing attacks. Okay, so there's a dodge button. You're actually doing like a quick steps to the side and the back. Okay, so that was what we saw in the trailer, and okay, yeah, so my initial, okay then, that was a lot. That was interesting. I don't know what to make of I'm not gonna lie, I like the quick punches and kicks. It definitely oh shit! Oh, okay. Freaking got Sonic Wind Blast coming from the feet? That's interesting. That is definitely a nice take for Sonic. Okay, so we actually have some form of strategy for different enemies. There are defensive enemies where you will need to use this loop attack in order to actually get through his defenses. Alright, so there is some form of strategy here. It's not just all gun-ho. Alright, yeah, so you have time to collect your rings. Cool. I don't know what in the world the blue things are. They may be experience. Similar to like Sonic Sonic Unleash. I am not gonna lie. Something about that feels weird to me. The same be said for that. It was actually something that I noticed when it came to the trailer as well when I first saw that move. I'll talk about it a little bit more. That move is sick. I am not, dude. That move actually is one of the sickest that we've seen. I actually like that. Oof. That was an interesting uphill. No actual momentum for that one. And lift up in the air. That's actually one thing that I like. Being able to lift them up in the air and just homing attacks, start doing combos and shit. That actually seems very fun. Almost has like that sort of hack and slash style aspect to it for Sonic. Just more beat 'em up. I wonder. So you can do multiple enemies. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I'm not gonna lie, that's cool. That was actually one thing that I wanted to know. Is if you can actually do multiple enemies. Alright. Now for the Titan. I could hear a little bit, I wonder, is that Roger? Okay, so you're essentially hitting these weak points. That didn't really take much. I guess there's like 3 stages and it just gets harder. That was an interesting cut. Alright. Okay. Weakening the feet. I guess you need to do the other one. Cool. It didn't do anything. What was the whole point of that? It didn't, like, at least trip over a certain... Oh, okay. So you have red warp rings or whatever those hoops are. And what are the lasers for? They look like force fields. They don't really seem to be doing much of protecting the weak spot though. Okay, now it's getting much harder. The red loops and the blue loops essentially either pushing them forward or pushing them away. Okay, I'm sorry. Those things are a little bit too low to really, like, do anything. To be real with you, that is interesting, but alright. I guess that's it. Huh. So, my overall thoughts of what we saw here. It's a little bit mixed. It's a little bit of like, so how should I say this? From what I've seen, there are some aspects of this that got me pretty excited. But at the same time, I still need to see a little bit more. I still feel like there needs to be a little bit more touch up. I don't know exactly what build this is that they're actually using. I can only imagine it may be an early build that can only explain exactly how is it that I'm guessing it was 4 or 5 years that the game has been in development, and we see like a lot of stiffness in the animations. Animations that aren't even completed, and many things that just seem a bit wonky. I can only imagine, and it's like you only have like 6 months in order to like get everything essentially finished and tested and so on and so forth. Yeah, I in my honest opinion, I feel as though IGN ideally have like an earlier build that Sega essentially gave them. That's my hypothesis. That's my conclusion, honestly, as to why in the world we're even getting something like this, because it feels very strange. I really want to give them the benefit of a doubt, to be real with you, because it's like I really want this game to succeed, but it's like being critical here. what I'm seeing doesn't entirely have me hyped. It doesn't have me going, oh snap, this is so freaking awesome, so freaking badass. There's a lot of things that are a little bit, I wouldn't exactly say like off-putting or terrible or horrible. This, trust me, there are so many other past games that look so much worse in comparison to this game. Sure enough, there are a lot of things about this game that is off when looking at it, like floating rails. I never really understood exactly why in the world that is like that. I already pointed out how it pretty much feels like I'm looking at a Sonic fan project that has essentially an open space where you're pretty much able to like experiment on various mechanics. That is straight up what it feels like I'm looking at the moment. But yeah, there are so many things I feel like they should have just condensed into like a trailer, to be perfectly honest. Like just giving us multiple trailers of the gameplay and then of the story, of the exploration, and so on and so forth. And I feel like that would have gone a bit better. That would have been a little bit better. But it's like there were some key aspects of the combat that definitely piqued my interest. Was the very fact that you actually have mechanics when using the loop in order to lift up enemies, in order to freaking go through enemies' defenses. I actually like that. It gives you a little bit more experimentation when it comes to that mechanic, and I definitely appreciate that aspect. It gives you a lot of options, and I like options. As far as the abilities are concerned that we saw in the video, like for instance the tricked out over exaggerated homing attack, that is one of the wonky bits, as well as the sort of like trick spin move that had Sonic just like doing a Kingdom Hearts 3 where the character doesn't exactly animate, but they like go into a flipping circle. Yeah, that. I don't like that. I really don't like that. I never liked that. It feels very lazy and it just looks weird. And it really did look weird here multiple times when the ability was used. I really hope that they actually give that an animation. Like for instance, it would be cool if they took like the trick spin animation that came from Sonic Advance. Sonic Advance 2 and 3 that Sonic would usually do. I actually like that move, and that would have been a lot cooler for him to do when he was actually doing that spin, and then he can transition into essentially going upside down into the air and whatnot. That could honestly be a badass idea. And then as far as like some of the enemies, like the Titan that we see here, I'm gonna be real here. They're gonna need to do a lot more to make these feel challenging, because there are many aspects of these that just really just feels too easy. It doesn't feel like there's any challenge. Even the last bit just seemed one note, to be real with you. And it's like these things are just standing in place, waiting for you to come to it and attack. There really isn't like any true opposition when it comes to these things, from what I've noticed. And I'm hoping that when it comes to the final completed version of this game, we'll actually see something that these things will be able to do, like having homing lasers or something of that nature, or freaking what was it, homing lasers, or freaking summon one of those robots that we freaking fought earlier, and so on and so forth. That would be interesting. That would honestly be cool. There are so many ideas that you could really go at this point when it comes to just what in the world this game is even about, to be perfectly honest with you. We still have absolutely no idea. what in the world we're actually dealing with here. There's supposed to be a cyberspace. We don't even know this island. We don't even know who the person that was talking to Sonic in the actual reveal trailer, the announcement trailer. So there are still many questionable things that still need answers, that I really feel like when it came to the whole entire marketing of, or just promoting of this game. But yeah, just a few things that need touching up on when it comes to exploration is actually having some form of structure. When it comes to the many things that are in the area, I really feel like you should decrease the number of rails, or at the very least place these railings in actual like locations that are along the areas and so on and so forth, and not exactly in the air, just suspended for whatever reason. And actually like make it seem like the world has like levels within levels and whatnot. That would actually be a little bit interesting, to be real with you. And then as far as the enemies with, I'm really hoping that we will get a lot of variety of enemies that have all different types of weaknesses that you can essentially exploit. And then as far as combat, a skill tree that gives you many different moves, just so it won't feel as repetitive when it comes to it, is something that is definitely needed for a open world game, because I know for a fact that many open world games will usually fail when it comes to that aspect in terms of combat if you don't exactly have like the ability to be a little bit creative, or at the very least have options in what you can do against your opponents. Then it just becomes one note, it becomes repetitive, and it becomes boring. So yeah, so far I like the kick animations, well, the freaking kick projectile animations, to be exact. I feel like the one kick that has Sonic like flying in the air somehow, I still did not get that. That I feel like if they instead had him like kick back and like do a backflip backwards into the air and then kick, that would feel more appropriate. But it's like, yeah, I just feel like that animation is weird, along with the over dramatic homing attack. Sure enough, the effect of it looks cool. It's just that it feels like Sonic is just teleporting in order to go back and then freaking homing attack back at the enemy. That's why I feel like if they were to just make the homing attack, that over dramatic homing attack, the actual like homing attack, like you can just do that from far away or something of that nature, then I feel like that would be way more appropriate in comparison to what in the world they were doing there. So yeah, with that, I think that's about it. And as far as that, all that was left was just working on the Titan bosses. And yeah, I think that's about it. All in all, I will have to chalk this up as fairly mixed. I can only fathom that this is mostly due to the fact of just how they went about the gameplay is one of the main reasons. The individuals who are also playing it probably not really doing a good job in showing off what needs to be seen and so on and so forth. I really feel like a dev that is actually a part of the development of the game would have been a better choice of actually showing off the game and many of the many aspects of it in order to give us a good, clear idea. If not that, condensing it into an actual like trailer to just show us what in the world to expect would have been better. Just like how they did with the gameplay trailer, the short one. It would have been nice if they actually did like extended versions and just kept it at that. That I feel like we would have been better off doing that. Instead, I'm really hoping that when it comes to it, that the gameplay that we saw here was just an earlier build. Otherwise, I feel like the time that was spent on this, if this is a current build of the game, would be a little bit saddening, to say the least. I can say that in retrospect, it's in a good direction. Like, as far as the core concept and what we're seeing here, I can't entirely complain too much, but I still have my criticisms. And so far, from what I see right now, my thing is that I'm just not sure whether or not if I'm entirely convinced by what I'm seeing here on this game really like succeeding in the way that Sega wants it to, ideally. So that's my take. I am not 100% sure what to make of what we got here just yet. I still need to see more. And hopefully, when that more comes, it will be in a better light. But for now, I'm just going to chalk it up to just being mixed and leave it at that. With that in mind, Sega, Sonic Team, please do all that you can in order to make this game succeed. I'm not really too concerned about the story. Just make the gameplay fun. With that in mind, I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction and my thoughts. You have a very nice day, nice night, nice morning, nice afternoon, all that good nonsense, and I shall catch you in the next one. Peace out.